Hello and welcome into another edition of Reality NSFW's coverage of Big Brother 23. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, joined as always by my co-host, Brent Wolgamott. And we have a special guest in with us tonight, Eric from Reality Recaps. Eric, how are you? Glad to have you here.
I am so excited to be here and witness Brent yelling about the same things I yell about in person. It is my favorite.
Right?
Brent, how are you?
Very excited.
I'm doing great. Eric and I have been friends for a long time. I think that maybe like when I was over at my other show that I felt like that some people thought I wasn't friends with Eric, but like Eric and I always had like a on the down low kind of friendship. I always respected him, honestly. I shaded him a little bit here and there, but I was all in good fun. And I think sometimes like maybe like the fans didn't understand that. They didn't understand the humor between two gay men. So anyway, I'm so thrilled to have him here. And it's great to talk Big Brother, even though this is a tragic week. By the way, I wasn't false advertising. I have looked for the veil. Bitch, I don't know where it is. I lost it during some sequester game, and I haven't seen it since. So I looked for the veil. I can't find it anywhere. So if I find it in the show, I'll let you know.
We need to get you a new veil. That'll be in the mill soon.
You can't veil early.
I mean, like,
gone yet.
Girl. We know she's gone. How the only way she ain't gone is if tomorrow's like a fake double eviction. But he didn't. But the announcer guy at the end said it's like a regular double eviction, the 2 hours. So like I don't even think it's that. Like all hope is lost.
What do we think it is then? And what do we think it is for 2 hours?
Or
how long it takes Kyland to nominate someone?
My take on it is that it's going to be a regular show for the first hour, showing us like, Tiffany campaigning for herself, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, they're going to surprise them and say, guess what? We still got another hour, and do a quote unquote live double eviction, which they've already taped today, apparently. The feeds are down for those people who don't watch the live feeds. They're down from now until like, I think Friday morning or maybe late Thursday night. So whatever has happened has already happened and been taped. We just don't know what that is. Eric has told me and Bobby that if he gets any information on what has happened, he will let us know during the show. So you will hear it here first if he has any info. And that's all we got right now. This was a really tough episode for all of us to watch, I think, Eric. Because first of all, Big D getting what he wants in the diary room was just awful. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't need to see that. I mean, like, whatever. I mean, he's not a villain that's fun to root for. He's not a villain that's fun to root against. He's just awful. He just is.
Yeah, they really had a Big D like fest today. They just, with him narrating pretty much everything and his commentary on every single little thing in the entire episode, it was like, man, they just can't get their fix of Big D, and for whatever reason, they think that's what's pulling to the audience.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I don't understand how Big D gets a great edit. I'm glad that we've seen more Tiffany tonight. I don't understand why Tiffany consistently gets a bad edit or the angry person edit.
Or the untrustworthy person edit, or the one not loyal to the Cookout edit.
Right. I don't. It's why I know there won't be a fake double eviction, because they're not going to do anything to save her.
Yeah.
They could.
They totally could. They totally fucking could. Because know that my girl, Rachel Riley, had production go in there and put up a veto competition that was suspiciously similar. Why am I hearing my voice come back at me? Anyway, I'm hearing my voice somewhere. I heard it talking. Anyway, the point being that Rachel Riley got a competition that was so similar to her week 1 HOH as the veto competition when they mysteriously ended up as pairs in Big Brother 13. Remember this? Do y'all remember this? When she opened Pandora's box for $10,000, Portia did. They all ended up in pairs, and then Rachel got a veto competition that was like surefire, hers to win, hands down, no questions asked kind of thing. And she won it, and her and Jordan stayed in, and Rachel went on to win Big Brother, and I was so fucking happy. That's what we fucking needed. Why can't can they not see that Tiffany is the one we're all rooting for? I don't understand. Eric?
I don't understand either. I am just as mad as you are. And we have, again, they have 2 hours. They could have done a Big Brother Canada type of a scenario. Would have been very easy. Have Tiffany go, let's just say Hannah goes, have them then battle in one more comp. You're only setting up one more comp. Make it be cornhole that you're selling on the website and cross promote. Who cares? You could do that very easily. But look, not for nothing, they didn't save Janelle last season, and she was trending in like every country, which was probably the best promotion Big Brother has ever gotten. And they could have saved her so easily and didn't. They're not saving Tiffany.
Yeah, I agree with Heather. We need a reset button. Like, we need that stat. Because
we never get these twists when we need them.
No,
we never get them when we want them. I think the last time a twist happened that made the fans mostly feel good, and then remember, this was a long time ago. It's before basically Twitter was like ruling the streets about Big Brother, was Big Brother 11 with the coup d'etat when Jeff got to put Jesse on the block. I feel like that's the last time where like a twist came in that gave us what we fucking want. Like, give me a fucking nut, Big Brother. I want my nut. Give it to me. You know? They won't give it to us.
I mean, do they feel like they're giving us the cookout? Like, I wonder
I guess.
They feel like they're giving us the cookout.
Yeah,
and
they feel like we got our nut already.
Yeah.
That's what they feel
I think they're afraid to ruin the cookout, but I don't know how it would. Like, they watch Twitter. We know they watch Twitter. They have to know we like Tiffany and we like Hannah.
And we hate Xavier and Kyland, mostly.
Right.
I mean, obviously I hate Big D, but he's just such a non-entity. I just like, whenever I talk about them, I bring him up. Yeah, go ahead.
To hate him. I love to hate Big D.
Big D.
Everyone hates that I love him. Like, he makes me laugh. I can't. Like, I get he's delusional. His delusion I find hysterical. Like, I'm not mad about it. I laugh, and it's the only time I laugh watching this.
Did you see him like jumping ahead? Did you see that he suddenly? Oh, I don't want people thinking I'm a threat.
I was just gonna say
Oh
that.
my god!
No problem.
Oh my! I was full 3 minutes behind the winner. I don't want people thinking I'm a threat.
I screamed at my TV screen, being like, "No one thinks you're a comp beast. Don't worry about it, bud. Like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine."
Did you see his little thing that they filmed in the diary room with everybody? And he said his game is most like Derek Levasseur.
Yes, yes.
The delusions are great, though. They make for just something fun, because we've seen it in the past with house guests that are so in one mindset in their brain that this is their edit, this is what they're being contrived as, and it's so far off base and off of reality that you can't help but make fun and laugh at them. Like,
to be totally fair, that and I'm just thinking about this right now, because I was ready to rip them a new asshole, and then I remember that on Sequester season 4, like, I got up there and I gave a speech on my eviction episode, and I was like, it was all heartfelt and sappy, and I was like, thank you guys, but I didn't realize in like the grand everything that it came off as me thanking them for being a part of my story. Like, it was really, 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 Bobby, you recapped that episode. It was really cringeworthy looking back on it. But at the time, I couldn't see the forest for the trees. See, so I'm thinking, this is fabulous. I thought of this speech. I thought about what I was going to say. I knew what I wanted to say when I walked up there. So, like, y'all, it happens. It happens to the best of us. To the best of us, Eric.
In all of our own minds, we're the the hero in our own story. So no matter what, you're always number one. And then you go home, watch the tape, and be like, God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
I'm not saying nothing after last season. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start in any particular spot in this episode? Is there anything anybody wants to talk about necessarily? I feel like it was all about the competition. We can talk about some of Kyland's things he was saying. We all knew he wasn't going to change the veto or the nominations, blah, 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 blah. And that was just all filler. The real problem to me was I don't understand for the life of me how someone who's as talented and such a fan of Big Brother as Tiffany, who had Claire helping her with Big Brother comics and giving her tips on what to do and what not to do. Like, what did Claire give her? the poison memo or something? What the fuck? Like, how does she end up with 40 minutes and Big D does 14? How does that happen? How?
And not for nothing production. You don't have a timer on the screen, so you could have made anybody win you wanted. So we see you.
Yeah.
You could have had Tiffany win or Hannah.
Well, to that same extent, right here, Lala was saying, was there talk in the house after the comp that they let Big D use a plank for the comp? I thought I heard that. I did hear that too. Brent, what do you know about that?
I don't know anything about that. Did I miss that? What was he using?
I heard the same thing. Apparently,
a plank.
I mean, he didn't come out and say I didn't have to use the zip line. Instead, they let me use a plank. But in the retells of it, I feel like after he talked about walking on a plank to look at the comics versus using a zip line.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's really like Twitter spun it maybe into a fact. Maybe we know that he gets his words wrong. Maybe he just said plank and meant zip line. So who knows?
Yeah, so people were assuming that he didn't have to use the zip line, maybe only once or twice so they could get a shot of it, but that he was using a plank to get across, maybe because he's a bigger guy, who knows, like maybe he asked for that because whatever the situation is. And so people are assuming, no one's confirmed it, that that's why his time could possibly be better.
Yeah. Or well, whatever. Like, I mean, nobody was going to beat Kyland's 11 minutes, so whatever. I mean, whatever at this point. I know it's not fair. Y'all right. It's not fair, but whatever.
11 minutes. Is that one of the faster times we've ever seen in that competition?
I don't know what the relevant times are. Eric, are you a historian when it comes to this stuff? I'm guessing no.
Yes, Nicole Anthony holds the record at 10 minutes and 53 seconds.
There we go.
Oh,
that's
there
why we have you.
Go. Yay!
It has never been broken. Kyland was so pissed. Like when the feeds came back on, he's like, I just wanted to beat Nicole Anthony and I can't let it go. I don't know how she did it so quick. She had a cheat. She only had 2 comics, blah, blah, blah. Like all of that. But yeah, according to Wikipedia, Nicole Anthony holds the fastest time at 10 minutes, I believe, and 53 seconds.
Okay.
That's crazy that he knew that going into the competition. Like, I feel like I would never know if I were on Big Brother, like, who's got the fastest.
Oh, yeah. No, there's random facts that I would know. Yeah, random facts I would know, but at times, no. I don't think so.
No.
Like, yeah.
All right, so we can get into it. What do you guys? Let's talk about the competition, I guess, because it was really all buffer up until that point. What do you think of the different comics that we saw? What were your guys' favorites?
I mean, Azza's, I feel like, was far and away the best. Far and away. By the way, they gave her boobs when she has none. Girl doesn't have much boobs, but they made her look like she was a size D in that comic. Let me tell you. But in real life, high A. But good for her. Whatever. I'm glad they gave that to her. But I thought that they had that made the most sense with her name. And also Big D's, I felt like was really, really good. Like that was accurate. I hate it when they shade house guests and the house guests don't know that they're being shading.
Mm-hmm.
They think, oh, that's cool, that's funny. I'm like, no, bitch, we're making fun of you. Okay, you should be crying right now. Okay, yeah.
That is the Big D delusion that I'm talking about that I love. When he is like, my comic was great. I was big and strong and I can destroy buildings. We're going to ignore that it's saying I'm sleeping through this game and never got off of the bed. Like he does not get it at all. I loved his. I loved Oz's. I loved Whitney's. Just like the detail of it. Some of them are like so detailed and intricate, and then others
DX was done so fucking wrong. Claire fucked up. Those two I thought were done so bad. But the guy who does the comics says he draws what he's told. That's what he said. That's what he said.
That is what
I missed those ones.
Yeah, so Claire had the Claire Bear with
Claire
her
Bear.
claws. Remember, because that was in the comic. She had the ears and the ears were missing in the two comics. And then Derek X had Lord of the Latrine. He has that fucking awesome body, gorgeous, and they gave him Lord of the Latrine with a fucking toilet paper in his hand. Fucking assholes. Like, seriously.
And side note to that, since you mentioned it about Derek X, have you noticed how in every single jury clip he's shirtless? Every single jury clip, he's not wearing a shirt. To which I say, Derek, why didn't you bless us with that on the feeds when we could have watched it all the time? Never did he. I feel like he never took a shirt off on the feed. Jury House, every scene shirtless. Don't understand. Maybe him and Brittany are doing something.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, look, this. Let's just talk about from a macro sense this week, okay? I understand why Tiffany did what she did and why Hannah did what she did last week in terms of getting Alyssa out of the house and Tiffany nominating Claire. But God damn it, like this is why it's no fun watching Big Brother play it as a team, okay?
Yes. Yep.
Because they're all playing for the collective good of the team. And eventually someone's going to get fucked on that team. And right now it's the people who we think, and I think arguably did, do most of the work for the team. The people that did the most work for the team, especially at the end, are the people who are getting fucked. And that's the part that sucks. I wish that Tiffany would not have done that. I just wish she would have said, for my own personal game, I cannot nominate Claire. I'm sorry. X, you got to go on the block. She knew that X was not in her corner, put his ass on the block and send him the fuck home. And then, you know what? Like 99.9% of the time, you're still going to get a black winner at the end. And I also, no tea unless specifically Claire and Alyssa make it to the end. You can still have a black winner if everybody in the cookout votes for the one black person at the end. Like, I don't understand why they had to do that at the time, why she had to do that at the time. Again, this is like, go ahead, tell me why.
You know exactly why.
I know.
Twitter, Instagram, she would have come out hated, and
she wouldn't have though, but she thought she would have. We would have loved her. Like most people who were for the cookout did not want her to put Claire up on the block because they were like, I know what's going to happen. She's going to go home sixth. And we don't want her to go home sixth. We don't want the black women in the cookout to be fucked at the expense of the men.
I agree. I agree. I don't know. What I was told was it would be bad for her when she came out of the house if she would have done any of them that went against the cookout before the 6 were worried about coming out being hated.
Well, then I'm gonna blame Claire then for her stupid Coin of Destiny stuff. She should not have She should not have done what Tiffany wanted her to do. She should have kept that shit a secret and nominated X and Big D or X and Kyland or some combination thereof. Even though she didn't know about the cookout, but she knew who the threats were and she knew who she wasn't working with, and so that's why I feel like that's really where shit got wrong, was when she because then Sarah Beth still would have been in the house, which means that's another non-cookout person, which means that she doesn't have to nominate Claire when she becomes HOH. You see what I mean? So that's why, bad idea.
Well, and here's another issue with team alliances is where in a normal season, you would see these team alliances form, get to the end, and then the players that had the strongest social game and the strongest competition prowess end up probably in the final 2 or winning. Now, this season, obviously, her goal was to get this alliance to the end no matter what, even if it wasn't in her best interest for, I do agree with you, social media, but also for what she wanted to have happen in this game and to push that agenda forward because that's what she felt passionate about. In a normal game, if it weren't what she was trying to do is to get an all black, final 6 and a black winner, she would have kept Claire in that situation. And she probably would have moved to, probably the end, probably final 2, final 3. In those past seasons where we've seen those, competition beasts and strategic masterminds in those alliances get to the end, it's because they knew what to do to convince other people that pushing their own agenda was right for them. And I feel like with Tiffany, she did that in some aspects, but in other aspects, she failed in making Kyland and Xavier and Big D feel like that was best for their game. And I think that's where she fumbled the ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the clear moment she fumbled for real was winning that HOH. I
Yes,
think she
100%.
would still be in a good position now had she not taken that win and then was able to play the following week. But yes, I mean, I give Tiffany so much credit. She gave up $750,000 in order to say, I want a black winner of Big Brother. That's why I give so much credit to all of them, because I would not do it. I would
not do it either. But
I
you know
would not
what?
do it.
Who is it? I lost track of what it is. Somebody in the chat said, I'm coming at it from it was olive oiled. Said, but you're coming at it from a white perspective. People of color, specifically black people. I don't like using POC when we're talking about black people. Black people may feel differently, and that's very true.
Yeah.
I'm coming at it from a very privileged white perspective, where I'd be like, yes, Tiffany, put X's ass on the block. He's trying to fuck you over every chance that he gets. Put Big D up on the block, something like that. But I don't know how people who are marginalized, who watch this show and don't see themselves represented on the screen and the winners of this show, how they feel. How would they feel about a move like that? I don't know.
Right. I always think of it from a gay perspective, which I understand is not at all the same as being a black person or a person. We can hide our gayness if we want, but I can say, if I was on that, there was like the 5 gay people. You can? So I'm just like, I would be like, sorry, gays, I got a mortgage and I want health insurance. So I'm gonna try and push our, agenda and do this for the gays later. I got to fix my back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and I also see it. I see it in that same respect that we are 3 white dudes talking about what we would do in this house. We're not looking at it from their perspective and
they did something that we can't identify with. I just can't. I can't relate to that. The fact that they wanted to create this alliance to get these 6 to the end, to have one of them be the first black winner of Big Brother ever. I cannot relate to that. I can relate on a human level, but I cannot relate to it how they see the competition, the game, and the world. I just can't do that. I will say this. I'm glad that this is going to happen. We're going to get a black winner of Big Brother. And I'm glad I don't have to see this happen again. And I don't mean that from a perspective of it wasn't great to watch, because it was thrilling to watch. But I don't want other black players who come after to feel the pressure that Tiffany felt to fuck her game and throw it away at the expense of something bigger. I don't want people playing for something bigger than themselves. I want them playing for themselves.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
And
I agree.
Sorry,
I was just going to say, somebody, I forget who it was now, maybe it was North, but somebody on Twitter said it was like the black tax. You cannot, as a black person, go onto the show, any reality TV show, and just play it for yourself. You are a representation of the community. If you're a woman, you can't be too angry, like we saw with Devon, or you become the angry black lady. You can't be too aggressive, or you're the angry black man. So, like all of that. I just echoing what you said, Brent. I agree. I hope that they can just play the game for themselves in the future.
And looking forward into future seasons, I think people will be on the lookout for this. They've even talked about in the house that they feel bad for, any black players that play after them, because people are going to be looking at them and being like, oh, are you forming an alliance? And I completely agree that that's probably going to be in the mindset of a lot of future players. So I'm happy that it happened this season and that we're getting the outcome we got, because in the future, it's probably not going to be successful like it was now. But I agree with you, Brent. I don't want to see people pushing agendas of a team aspect. I want them to have self-interest moving forward. And I'm glad we had it this season, because I'm glad it happened. But looking forward, I really hope that we don't have to have a situation like this where it kind of draws the season to an unclimactic finish. So,
yeah. Yep. I'm with you.
All right. So let's move on. We got Kyland ends up winning the veto competition. he talks to Tiffany in the HOH room, where Tiffany basically says she's willing to throw competitions to him. Well, maybe not throw competitions, but if she wins anything, she will use the veto on him. She will help him survive each round. She will give him her vote. What were your guys' thoughts? Obviously, she's just throwing everything she can at the wall to try to see what sticks and see what saves her butt this week. But do you think this had any chance of being effective for her to stay in the house?
I mean, it was a pretty good pitch. What do you think? Well, go ahead, Eric, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you go ahead, go first. Man.
Okay, cool. Well, I thought it was look. Here's the thing. She has campaigned all week. Like she has not given up. Now she did say to Ozza, "Look, if it's not looking good for me, bitch, just tell me." Like, I mean, I shouldn't say bitch, but like, she's like, "Girl, just tell me." Like, that way I can sit back and enjoy my time. But she has not given up, and so she has tried even like before the veto before the veto ceremony took place and after the veto ceremony took place. She has been campaigning hard to try to stay. But every time it's just blown up in her face. Now, I will say her best time to get out of this was probably before the veto was used, because if Kyland could have used the veto on her, believed everything she said, I mean, I don't know if she would have been loyal to it, but I feel like she kind of would have been, because also she could beat Kyland at the end. Maybe she knows that. So, like, if I don't think that a girl was going to be saved this week, but I think that Tiffany could have been saved and Hannah could have gone home. That could have happened if he used the veto on Tiffany, put up Ozza, everybody votes out Hannah, and he has a private deal with Tiffany, because X is always going to go after Tiffany before he goes after Kyland. I feel like that wasn't a terrible position for Kyland to be in, especially if he has if he believes that what Tiffany has to sell him is true. That's the problem, though. If he can't believe that, and he already felt like she lied to him before, then it's not worth the price of admission. So I think that's why ultimately he decided not to. But like, we're also papering over what's really going on here, which is like, can we just talk about the misogyny that's happening? Like, I'm sorry, we 30 minutes into the show and like we haven't discussed the misogyny that's happening here. So like, just to be clear, like it does appear to me as though Kyland is trying to elevate the men of the Cookout over the women of the Cookout on the sheer basis of the fact that men are superior and the women haven't done as much. And that's what it seems like X and Big D say, that Tiffany hasn't done shit, and, Ozza hasn't done anything. And like, what have they done? We've done everything. Big D actually thinks he's done more for the Cookout than Tiffany, like, which is just boggling to hear. Literally boggling. And it just, the thing that is rubbing all of us the wrongest about the way things are going down is that it looks like, from all outside appearances, that Xavier is going to be the winner of Big Brother. And has he done anything to make Kyland feel a certain way about him? No. He has not done any specific. I mean, this week he made a final two with him and the gentleman. Sure. But has he done anything to make him feel as though he is the best player to take to the end? No, he hasn't done that. It's Kyland's own delusions where he thinks that, Xavier must be the best player in the house, so I want to go to the end with him because I want the best to be up against the best. It couldn't possibly be Tiffany, which is far and away the person that is actually the best player in the house, who's actually playing the best game, who the jury would actually vote for over Xavier, that is the really best player in the house, I think. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to take Xavier to the end in this misguided attempt to play like some sort of Cody/Derek game where the two of them go to the end and fight it out. And like, I mean, Tiffany called it out to him in the HOH room when they were talking, and she's like, look, if you go to the end with Xavier, you're not going to have the votes. And he's like, well, I'm not going to have the votes. And then what do you say to that? Nothing. He wants to go to the end and fall on his sword, so he ends up in second place and gets out. He thinks he's going to get asked back again. That's what he thinks. He thinks he's going to get asked back again. Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say that I think there's several things going on.
So many things.
I think it's his ego, 100%.
100.
B, I think he does not like that Tiffany has beat him in comps where Xavier hasn't. I think that plays to his ego immensely of why he wants Tiffany out of this game. And then, yes, we know, we have seen everything he does, from setting up his Candyland shit and making sure the camera angles are good, that he has said he wants to play again. Everything he's doing is so that he can play again. And I think you said it on Twitter, Brent, you're playing now. Like, play now. Like, you're playing now. Stop playing to come back and play again. And I almost feel like, does he think, well, if I win, they probably won't ask me back again. So, like, I
think
don't.
that's true.
Like, I think it is true. I think it's true. He doesn't value the women in the house unless it's to get a hand job at night, apparently.
Oh,
wait, Brent, are you eating a pile of Pop Rocks?
Clearly.
I haven't seen someone down Pop Rocks like that since I was in 4th grade.
that is what it takes.
I'm sorry. Like, so real tea. So I'm trying to cut back on my sugar and like the shit that I eat.
Can
okay,
tell.
I'm trying. Okay, but these
harder.
It's not just going all over right now.
These are sugar, and like they quench my sweet tooth, but they're only 40 calories. So like I love them. Like 40 calories of pure happiness. I love it.
It's got like a cough drop.
I know, right?
Totally.
It'll like last longer.
Oh, I'm gonna get Pop Rocks. That sounds like 40 calories.
I don't know what it is. I've been into them lately. Oh my god.
Sorry for calling you out. I just saw you
That's
grab
so
something.
fine.
I was like, was that Pop Rocks?
I know I should have done it on camera, but whatever. I almost turned off my
back
camera.
On sugar by eating pure crystallized
now I'm gonna
sugar.
wash it down with a Coke.
Yeah,
well, that's really not diet and filled with sugar. Yeah, good. You're doing great, though.
Okay, so now I got to remember where we were at. Sorry, the Pop Rocks really got me.
We're bashing We're bashing Kyland.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Kyland is definitely thinking about the fact that he wants to come on a future season. And I think he thinks in his mind he'll have no problem winning a future season. I think he's looking at it like, oh, I'm going to help my buddy out, and get these women out and get the first black winner, and I'll get to the final 2. That's fine. But then I'll get to come back and easily win, no problem. I honestly think he thinks he can smash every competition. It's like he's got the big D mindset, but he's actually successful somewhat in competitions. Like, that's what I see when I see Kyland.
It's so frustrating because Eric, he's going to go to the end and lose. Like, make no mistake, he's going to lose. It is. I thought it might be close, but he's gonna lose, and he's gonna lose hard. Okay, like these people hate him. Every single one of the people that have walked out of the house have had basically it's like 8 out of 9 positive. Claire was like 9 out of 10 positive. The one person consistently that gets the long-winded, talkative, slow talking, boring, like the ones that gets all the negative commentary when they're asking for 3 words to describe somebody who was still in the house. It's always Kyland. Never Xavier. Okay. And I've seen Hannah, Tiffany, I can't even remember who else. Like people say like I would vote for Xavier if he got to the end. They all want to vote for Xavier. Hannah's like talking to the cameras going, if it's not me, I want it to be Xavier. Why? Because he's nice? I at least wanted it to be a competition, but it doesn't look like it's going to be if it's going to be Kyland and Xavier at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Kyland wants a Derek Cody storyline. What I would really like is if we could remove BB16 from all sequesters.
Right?
Never show them that ever again. That's what he wants, because that is why he wants to drag Xavier. He wants to come out and he envisions it as him and Xavier doing fan meet and greets, him and Xavier creating like Hitmen t-shirts, I really think that more than anything is why he wants to drag Xavier to the end. And he would never see that with a woman. He could never do that with Tiffany. He could never do that with Hannah. He sees him and Xavier as marketable to the franchise and fans. And that, in my opinion, is why he wants to drag him to the end.
And to that same fact, I think that production just wishes every single season was Big Brother 16. Like, to them, that was like the prime season. That was the top of the line, because we know, one, they love to bring back people from Big Brother 16 time after time. We don't see a single person from Big Brother 15, maybe for good reason, but we don't see people from that season, and we see people time after time from Big Brother 16. That's their crown jewel. We see every single season in Sequestered, they show people Big Brother 16. It's just something that they are totally okay with. So that's why I think when they look at this season, and it's been a complete, rundown by the Cookout, they look at this as, we are Derek and Cody. I completely agree with you on this. And in production's mindset, I feel like that's also why they've been hyping up X and Kyland all season long, especially towards the end, especially in that competition that Tiffany won for HOH. They want them to be the heroes of their own narrative and be the heroes of the show. That's exactly what production wants.
And like, while go ahead. No, go ahead. Because I was going to change the subject.
I was going to say, Kyland did say, I know I saw Destiny say it in chat. Kyland literally said that he wants to be the Cody. He wants to come back and win his second time. So, I mean, he's just playing into his own destiny. What's going to happen is he's going to come out and find out he's hated.
Destiny said the same thing, and her name is Destiny.
So the only way this isn't going to happen is if Hannah wins HOH in the double eviction on tomorrow night. Like, that's the only way this isn't going to happen. Because if she wins HOH, she puts up X and Kyland. One of them goes home, unless something wonky happens and like fucking Diep wins the veto, and it's not Oh yeah, I'm just yeah.
It will, because we can't have nice things.
I know, right? This season. Yeah, I know, right? So,
Brent, before you get to what you're gonna say, let's save that for after the commercial break.
Eric, we have to take commercials here. You know that we got to pay the bills.
And just listen to them; they're fantastic. All right.
So we'll see you in about 2 minutes. Bye.
All right.
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually tastes great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym.
I am so happy that Lucy is sponsoring us. Ever since they came on board, I have gotten no less than 5 of my friends transitioned over to Lucy and put their cigarettes down. They like the gum. I'm used to seeing the packages all around. This stuff is great, and it's really helping people make much healthier choices. So get on board and join the Lucy movement.
Hey, it's 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple that you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR.
This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BLUECHEW.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
All right, and we're back to the episode. We sent some Blue Chew into the house to Kyland. I think he might have got it, so we're happy. We're happy to help.
That is what I was gonna say. I was to say, turns out Kyland, Blue Chew, big dick.
Now we just need to send the Pop Rocks, and we'll be all set.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Big D would like those. Okay, so before we go any further, I just want to say I'm going to take like 1 minute, okay? And I'm going to try to make us feel a little bit better about what's likely the inevitable going to happen, which is probably Xavier and Kylan getting to the end and Xavier winning. Okay, fine. Is that, have we considered just for a moment that Claire, upon her near eviction, her imminent eviction, was sitting there next to Xavier saying, look, if I somehow go home, obviously Xavier's playing the most amazing game in the house, because like, I don't understand how I would go home next to the guy who is this big of a threat level, basically saying he's like the threat to win. And we know that Alyssa is loyal to Xavier. We know that Tiffany and Hannah have privately said they would vote for Xavier if he got to the end. Is it possible that in a really fucked up, misguided way, Kyland, he wants to get to the end with Xavier because he wants it to be a story of triumph in the finale, where it's like excellence, specifically Black excellence. He doesn't want to get to the end with him and Azza. He doesn't want to get to the end with him and Hannah. He wants to get to the end with who he perceives to be the best player, and who he perceives to be the best player is everybody that the house is saying is the best player that they would vote for, which is Xavier. So I understand that we're all frustrated with that. And I think this is true? Probably not. But like, I do feel like there is an element where like, he's not going to take Big D to the end. He could, but he's not going to. Big D thinks he has second place minimum locked up. Honey, he ain't going to get it. He's going to get third place. That's going to be my only salvation on finale night. But is it possible that Eric, I'm asking this question. Is it possible that Kylan feels this way?
I have a follow-up. What's in your Pop Rocks? Because no. That is an amazing story you just gave him.
Okay.
No, because he would be saying that then.
Okay.
If he said that at all. And we have seen people in the history of Big Brother say that. Like Brittany Haynes is one that comes to mind. She has said, I will vote for the best player even if I'm bitter, because when I'm talking about my season to other people, I want to be able to say I lost to the best player, not I lost to the person that I liked better. So no, I think it's his ego. And again, we could make arguments for everyone. I mean, Azza would probably have to be the hardest argument, but I mean, every person in that cookout, the Cookout would not have made it where they made it without all of those people to an extent. I mean, they needed the numbers for voting. I think Ozza doesn't get, look, I'm not saying that Ozza is this comp beast or she, she probably did the least out of everyone, but I think what she does not get credit for, she softened a lot of the harsh blows that the Cookout did. She contained Brittany from exploding and going after people. She had a way of calming down a lot of things that I think would have turned into a lot bigger issues had it not been for her. Now, is that as important on paper as winning the comp and putting the people up? No, but I think it is of value to the Cookout that I think she doesn't get credit for.
Yeah.
I just love Ozza.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I think that, in my opinion, and people might not agree with me, I believe if it does come out into X and Kyland in the final two, I honestly think Kyland deserves it over X, because how many competitions did we see X throw?
I agree.
What he's going to get by clear just straight off of his likability. Like you said about
I'm
Brittany
with you.
Hayes, she wanted to vote for the person who played the best game. Kylan won multiple competitions. X won some too, but he won a lot of the big HOHs and vetoes that they needed to get done to be able to get the Cookout as far as they did. Now, I'm not saying X was a slouch. I think he did his part as well, but we saw him time after time throw competitions and kind of just get by on his likability. And I think if the people in the house really want to give it to the true winner and a true representative of their season, it should be Kyland.
Yeah, how many times that happened, Bobby? That people vote for
it happens occasionally. Not
in modern. No, I'm sorry, not in modern day Big Brother. It does not happen. Not in modern day Big Brother. That is Big Brother of old. Name me a person in the past 8 years who has won with strategicness over somebody's likability. Tyler lost to Casey.
Derek over Cody. Derek was the better player, and Cody was likable.
I think they were both equally likable in the eyes of the house guests, because the house guests didn't see what we saw in the diary room.
True.
Like they viewed Derek as more like a older, dad kind of thing. Yeah. Daddy. Yeah. I'd fuck him. Just FYI.
Old him.
You'd what?
The older him. Whatever. Just old.
Sorry. I was talking about Derek. I was talking about Levasseur. I'd fuck Levasseur.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't mean this Derek.
I know, right? Yeah, not this Derek.
I wouldn't be able not to laugh. I wouldn't be able not to laugh if it was this Derek.
I've always thought Levasseur was hot. I'm sorry. Even because when he walked into the house, he was like a little chub, just a little bit. When he walked into the house and he looked more dad. And then as the show went on, he looked like he lost a little weight, and he looked younger because he was trying to blend in with the house. Very hot. And ever since then, I've always thought he was kind of Mac Daddy. Yeah, I know that's it. See, but
the money.
I saw this on Twitter today. I think it was Amon or somebody. Oh my God, I can't remember who tweeted this, but they were like, look, y'all, it's possible to absolutely hate someone and also think they're hot.
Yeah, duh.
Right.
Right.
Hey, this is all you guys. I'm letting you guys take the lead on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
You concur.
I concur. That is what I.
Yeah, but I'm
do not think Kyland is.
Yeah, exactly. Kyland ain't gonna win. He just ain't. They want to vote for somebody that makes them feel good, and X makes them feel good. Makes them feel good. Yeah. Whatever.
He's not now because Tiffany is going to bitter up that jury. She kind of said it a little bit last night of, I don't know who I'm going to bitter the jury up against. Am I going to make them be anti-X or anti-Kyland? She kind of said it a little bit. And this is another area where Kyland failed. He could have kept Tiffany. She would have been a soldier for him. Let Xavier take Tiffany out. Don't get that blood on your hands. You could have easily had Hannah go, which would have been really no resistance from the house.
None.
The house would not have cared, and you would have had a soldier on your side. It makes no sense. And even Tiffany said that last night. She was like, you guys, all I'm going to tell you is you better give me the real reason in the goodbye messages, because this pussy, you're the strongest person threat. I am not buying it. I have given you both amazing reasons why I am better for your game, and you not keeping me makes 0 sense. So you better explain it to me in my goodbye message, or I'm turning that jury against you.
Yep.
So, I mean...
I think it could really come down to what Tiffany says in the jury house. Like, she has a huge pool, and as much as we think X is going to be, the winner over Kyland, hands down, she could do some damage, and she's going out early enough that she can really get the job done and really turn the jury. It's not like she's coming in third and just goes immediately and votes. We're seeing someone that's going to be in there for a couple of weeks, going to be able to work her magic, and we know how good she is at socializing and talking to people and breaking down the game. We see what kind of player she is and how she has a great mind for the game, that she could bring out these points that she maybe held reserve while she was in the house to help her own game, and can point those out to people and what they need to see, especially like Derek X. Derek X listened to her all season and wanted to hear her points on what he should do. This is exactly the kind of player that she could easily turn against anyone or help turn for in the end game.
That's fair. By the way, put up Heather's comment because she shouted it in all caps. So I know she wants us to read it. But Kyland thinks Xavier is loyal and Tiffany isn't. But Xavier never proved loyalty to Kyland, which is very true. But in Kyland's mind, like, Tiffany lied to him, and like there's some like piddling white lie that she got caught in, and he's been holding her accountable for that. And I don't know that Xavier, I mean, we know Xavier, I'm sure, has lied at some point, but like I don't know that Kyland knows that. So like in his warped sense of view, and is there misogyny sprinkled in, if not like totally saturated with this? Yes, it is. I can't get away from the fact that the men that the women are held to a higher standard than the men are of the Cookout. It boggles my mind. And like, again, what has X done that they're so willing to reward him? But then again, I look at Tiffany, I look at Hannah. They all want to vote for X too. If not, then they want X to win. Why is that? Because they like him the best. And by the way, I haven't ripped this person, but I really should. The person who I really need to rip too is Azah, who is absolutely doing nothing for the cause of the black women at the moment. Because I love Azah, but oh my God, I believe her when she says that she's willing to finish in 4th place. And that's fucking sad. Like, I honestly believe if she wins HOH tomorrow night, I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. I think she could actually put up like Hannah and Xavier, or Hannah and Kyland. She put up Hannah and Kyland. That's what she'd probably do. She put up Hannah and Kyland. They'd vote out Hannah if she didn't win the fucking veto. That's what would happen. And
she said it.
I'm just like, I don't understand where she's coming from. Like, what does she think she's doing? Wow, what a disappointment.
He believes Derek, number one, which is a huge mistake, even though he argues with her daily now, so I'll never understand that. And she made her choice. We saw on the feed yesterday, she decided to work with the guys.
And she has the hots for Xavier. Like, that cannot be understated. I feel like is that not at play here?
Yes, I'm sure that is at play a little bit. And I agree with you. Like, I love her. Like, her and Derek, for me, make me laugh and make the feeds enjoyable to watch. So, like, I want to root for them in that area. But game-wise, neither of them do anything, really. They are not contributing to the game. They are just the jokers. They ended up on the perfect team. They are the comedic relief for me for the season. And I mean, I do appreciate that, but it doesn't have any game value. And yeah, she's willing to go with the guys, which I was really disappointed.
Bummed. Disappointed. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. She's getting yelled at for that.
Let's just say it does happen. In some crazy world, we see Azah and Derek F in the final 2. A lot has to go crazy for that to happen. Who do we think actually wins in that final 2?
What? An Xavier and
Derek F and Azah.
Like Big D and Azah. Yeah. If they got to the final 2.
God. I guess Derek. No, Azah would. Azah would.
I think so too.
She would. I think Azah would win. Because Tiffany's in the jury.
Yep, I concur.
And Tiffany will be like, if you vote for him, she will tell people, like, I will fine you. So yeah, I think Oz. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're never going to see it, but that would be a fun question to ask the jury postseason. Like, who? I always love asking them if it's this person and this person. Who would you have voted for? Not that it matters because they all are rewriting history at that point anyway.
It just burns my gears that. Fucking, I'm sorry, I'm gonna rant about this one more time. Like the way when this season turned, it was when Claire, because we thought the DF was the only one who had the money to get the coin of destiny. We thought it was gonna be DF, and then they introduced that competition where they got extra money, so then anybody could basically get the coin of destiny if they had enough money randomly. Claire got enough money randomly, won it secretly, and then admitted that she didn't need Sarah Beth out of the house, and still copied Tiffany's nominations and then told Tiffany she was the fucking secret HOH. What the fuck? That changed everything. If she gets one of the Cookout men there, this season is fucking different. Oh, Claire.
Brent,
Yes.
What I'm hearing is on a misogynist season, you blaming a woman, when I would like to say the problem actually happened when everybody's favorite, and I still don't get it, DX went after Christian. To me,
I hated that move
was
too.
the
I hated it.
So
I admit.
stupid.
So stupid.
Doesn't
100.
use his money, does whatever Xavier tells him to do. The worst move of the season, in my opinion. And that is the downfall that, yes, then led to Claire making the next biggest mistake. But again, I do say we all can say that watching the show and understanding the Cookout is a thing. I think it has to be hard for them. They don't know what we know. But I will also say these are people that all watched last season. So I don't know how they don't know it. This was a topic last season, with Devon and with David and Bailey. Like, we cannot vote against our own people. Like, we're not going to do that. So I don't understand why nobody thought that might happen this season as well. But I mean, I blame DX for winning this season. It gets me in trouble.
I mean, I don't disagree. Like, I thought that was a horrible move at the time. Again, you take Christian out, and then what happens? You become the next biggest target, and that's exactly what happens. Exactly what happened.
You guys got to realize that we're talking about Derek X, who had no knowledge of this game going in. So that's where I cut him a little. He is, but even if you're a fast learner, and he did really well for picking it up as he was going, you get to a point where other people in the house want you as their target, or at least want to use you as a tool. And they're going to tell you, like, he was getting all his information from Tiffany on what to do. It got to the point where Tiffany was going to use him for her own good. And I think that he finally just couldn't pick up on the game fast enough on his own.
But I will just say he watched the biggest threat go every single week, and then he took out the only person bigger than him. What did you think was going to happen the following week? I don't get it.
You're not wrong. You know what?
Never get it.
He's going to win America's Favorite Player, and he totally shouldn't. It should be Tiffany.
You think?
I think he's going to.
I don't think he will.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't.
He wins.
You think hands down he wins?
Yeah, I think that the casuals are seeing the casuals love him, and the casuals are seeing Tiffany in a different light than the super fans. And I just think there's a lot of factors when it comes down to it that the show and production are showing, and also the fact that he also has fans in the super fans. I think that the combination of the two is going to push him forward. I think Tiffany should win. I think Derek X will win.
It's a travesty if Tiffany does not win for all she's done for this season.
Right. By the way, Heather, I see you in the chat. Claire clocked the house well, but never had power. Bitch, she had the coin of destiny! What the hell are you talking about? She didn't have to tell people about it. Oh my God, I should ban you for 5 minutes for detention for that. Oh my God, you gave me an aneurysm reading that. Jesus fucking Christ.
Another point, Eric, is my mom. She is a super casual fan, fan, right? She watches every single episode, but has no idea life is. I have to tell her, hey, Mom, this is what's going on. She will remember Derek X till probably 5 seasons from now. She can't tell
Really?
you who Ozza is in the house. Like, that's where the casuals lie.
I agree. Tiffany got hardly any airtime the first half of the season, and then when they gave it to her the second half, it was, I'm fighting with Kyland. I'm fighting with this person. So you're right. It probably will be Derek, which is ridiculous. Derek X.
God, Derek F, could you imagine? They need to say Derek F's in the final 3 just to make him like get all such a big head. I would die.
I want to say this right now, and you mark this down. I swear to God, Xavier better be writing a check to the Cookout people too. I know they're not allowed to say it in the house. Whoever wins, you were only expecting to win $500,000. You're finding out that you're winning $750,000.
Right.
I think you should at least be writing
$50,000 to each member of the Cookout.
At least, I mean, I would have said 10, but hell, 50 is great too.
50, then
If it was me, I would have done at least. Like, you wouldn't have won without them. You would not have won without them. And the fact that Tiffany gets nothing is Tiffany's going to walk away with like what, $12,000
for stipends. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the top 5 get a little extra money. I think like 5th place gets like $5,000. It's $7,500.
No, it's a lot this year.
It's a lot. Whatever. It's more money. They get more money. Yeah. The top 5. But if you end up 6, you don't get nothing, which is what Tiffany was bitching about.
To me, the stipends are so crazy low for how long they play this game. Like, it always blows my mind when I hear those numbers. I'm like, damn, that's all they get for getting like that far into the game. Like, you hear Survivor, and granted, it's a very different game. And you hear the money that they make on Survivor.
Yeah, they do it in like half, like a third of the time. Survivor. Now it's like 26 days.
I mean, granted, they're starving and in much worse situations.
They haven't starved for 20 seasons.
Well, this season they are.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I think if I had to starve or live with Kyland for 3 months, I'm going to go starve.
That's probably
true. You could have lived with Derek X too, so.
I can't. Nope. Nope.
But he makes you laugh.
No, he would make me laugh. I would like that. I would not be able to suffer through Kyland. I say all the time, Kyland has a very punchable face. And
he does.
when he talks,
my God.
Like that is
the way he just sits in the diary room like the.
I hate it.
Every
sentence he finishes with his.
Right? Oh, God.
I can't. I don't know how to talk to him in the real world. I just hope he comes out and is like, gotcha, I was playing a character. I had too much.
Let's go to Comic-Con.
What? Gosh. Oh, and he complains a lot. So
yeah, he complains. Yeah, I think
Kai complains.
My former employer did like a show about like Kai complains, and they had like fake Kai complains and real Kai complains, and you had to tell which was the fake one. That was actually a really good podcast. Like, I actually liked that. It was weird because I couldn't even tell which was real.
I loved it. I love Kai complains. My favorite.
Yes.
Best part.
Yeah, that's really fun. Yeah, that's the best part of Twitter this year is Kai complains. Yeah.
Yes.
So what else do you guys want to cover as far as maybe not this episode, because we pretty much got through the episode. We saw that Tiffany and Hannah are staying on the block. One of Tiffany or Hannah will be going home, most likely, in our opinion, Tiffany. Anything else from this season or from the live feeds that you guys want to talk about?
I forgot what Kyland said at the end of the episode now, but it enraged me. It was something about like Tiffany is playing for her own self-interest.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what that like triggered me. I was like setting up for this show and I heard it and like my eyes started twitching. Like, you don't play for your own self-interest? You're literally having whatever you're doing under the covers with her like every night and then expecting her to do whatever. Oh my God, I can't with him. I can't. I hate him. I don't hate him.
Well, that's just like it's like in politics these days. Like, if you say something that's completely false, but you say it enough, people start to believe it. And somehow this falsehood that Tiffany was not loyal to the Cookout has taken hold, that she was selfish, that she won the second HOH when she wasn't, that they all agreed that Claire was going to be the nominee over Alyssa. They did not agree to that. Xavier said that. He dictated that. That's what the fuck happened, and somehow the show made it look like that they all agreed to it when it did not happen that way. Frustrates the hell out of me. Ugh.
Oh, another thing that we saw in this episode, but I felt like the lines that production gives them in the diary room were so obvious in this episode, more than I think any episode I've seen in a long time. I'm like, well, that's clearly a Fed line. That's clearly a Fed line. Like, I felt like it was an overdrive tonight. Like, I felt like they were just reading from a teleprompter the entire time. Did you guys notice that at all? Because I felt like we had way more of those than normal.
How could you not notice it? Kylan let us know when he would be like, my bestie, Sarah Beth, she's cold. Get it? Her comic? I was just like, oh my God, I can't with you at all. Please get him off my screen. Yeah, but I also kind of think a little bit, I wonder if that's what feeds Kylan as well. Because like the DR will tell them, I need you to go out and have this conversation. We need it for the edit. Or you got to go do this because we need it for the edit. And they kind of say that to all of them. Kylan thinks he's the only one that's happening to. Like, Kylan thinks he's best friends with production. I'm going to have the production conversation now. Got to make sure my camera angles are good. All right, Tiffany. It's like, I can't. I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
He's gonna be so hated. Oh God.
I don't. Yeah. Which is why he's gonna win, by the way, and why I agree with you that he is playing the best game. Usually, the people that are playing the best game turns out not to be our favorite, or at least.
So you think Kylan can win?
No, I do not think he can win, but I think he deserves to win.
Okay,
he is the person who has done the most. Like, if I'm being objective and honest, yes, Kylan should win this game.
I still think Kylan can win if Tiffany goes into the jury and bidders X. Like, she can 100% turn the tide.
Something has to happen along the way for Kylan to want to take DF to the end. That's the only thing that can change that. If that happens, then I think Kylan can win. He has to want to take DF to the end. Maybe the diary room can ask him some questions. Of course, they want it to be Xavier versus Kyland. They don't want DF being in the final two. So, whatever.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's our fault. Tiffany asked us every day to send her good vibes and good energy, and clearly we didn't send enough.
Clearly.
All right, I got another question for you guys. Who do you think at the end of the season is going to have the biggest reality check when they come out of the house?
Tiffany, hands down. I think Tiffany.
Really? Why Tiffany?
I think she's the most relatable. I think people that the social media just loves her. She loves reality television. It's not Azza, it's not Hannah, it's not Xavier, it's not Kyland, it's not Big D. So the only other person could be is like DX maybe. But I don't think DX wants to live off of a reality check or wants to be involved in that necessarily. Not that Tiffany does, but I feel like that Tiffany would embrace it because she's an actual fan, whereas DX isn't.
I got you, Bobby.
Yeah.
So the correct answer is Kyland.
All right.
Brent, he meant who is going to find out that we think
reality check. Okay.
Yes,
a reality
check.
A reality check.
Check.
I was like, where's he going with this?
I'm sorry.
He needs more sugar. Where is
my Pop Rocks?
He needs more Pop Rocks. No, it'll be Kyland and Derek Frazier.
Yeah, I agree. I think Derek F is in for a world of hurt when he comes out and he realizes everyone doesn't love him like they did in that champagne video at the beginning of the season. So I think that's what he's expecting, and what he's going to get is the cold shoulder. All right. So anything else you guys want to get to before we
wrap just like up? Realizing when you said who needs a reality check, I was like, Tiffany, and here's why.
Write the check.
That's why I was like, wait, why Tiffany? Why does she not think people like her?
Yeah, we were like, what?
Like, oh yeah, cut her a check. I was like, wait, what?
Oh God.
Oh Brent.
Yes.
It's been a long season.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, Eric, is there any social media or anything else you want to plug before we head out of here?
Just reality recaps everywhere. That's
At Reality Recaps.
Yeah,
at
guys,
Reality Recaps everywhere.
Yeah.
definitely go check out Reality Recaps. Eric does a great job every single week during the Big Brother season.
And also, he usually works with at Comedy Jonah, who's actually very funny and I like very much. So you can also check him out if you want to as well.
Perfect. Well, we will be back next week following the episode. Please check us out after the episode at around 6:15. We try to come on as early as we can. We will be here to break down current episode.
Huh? You mean 9:15, right?
Well, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 my time. Sorry.
Yes,
sorry.
okay, yeah.
Pacific time, 6:15. Yeah, no. So definitely come on after the episode. We will be here talking all about it. If you have any comments or concerns, please hit us up on social media. We'd love to get any kind of input you guys have about the podcast or about the season. We'd love to hear from you. Definitely check out Brent at One Lucky Gay. I'm at Goodsby Bobby for
By the way,
Eric, for Brent.
Before you sign off, I just want to tell Eric. So Eric, at the end of the show, more ads play, but you can log off after that. So once we sign off here, you can log off. So yes.
All right. I was just I was gonna get the blue chew.
All right. Sorry, Bobby. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. I was losing track of what I was saying anyways. So for Eric at One Lucky Gay, for Brent, for me at Goodsby Bobby. See, I'm all over the place. We will see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming, if you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code SURVIVOR.
Now listen, I have had my fair share of mishaps in the past, and going into Halloween, the guys like to dress scary, the girls like to dress inviting, and as a result, you're bound to get your pants down if you do things right. Well, you don't want a big bush down there. You want those things freshly trimmed, shaved so perfectly. Don't use a razor. Go to Manscaped. It's the only way, or you will not be getting treats, but only tricks.
It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. And if you're looking to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn a 4,000 LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Plus, it's waterproof.
I hate shaving in the dark. That 4,000 LED spotlight, perfect. But the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. So you use the Lawnmower 4.0 for your rear, use this for your ears. This nose and hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps against nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes.
Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant. Everyone knows pumpkin spice lattes and ball deodorant go hand in hand.
That's all they're talking about at Target these days. It's crazy. Then after trimming the pumpkin patch and whacking the leaves, give your balls a boost and use the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag. You see me on the road, I have the Manscaped Shed Travel Bag with me everywhere I go. Get comfy on the home and on the go this season.
So get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Promo code Survivor. I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and unhealthy food, and realize I basically can't eat anything anymore. I mean, I used to love eating that delicious cereal, but I can't. But wait, I can, thanks to Magic Spoon.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories a serving.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. Plus, build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and my new favorite, maple waffle.
Magic Spoon just recently brought back 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle, just like you're talking about, Johnny, permanently. When these flavors were first introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. You should make sure to get these again and try them for the first time. They're delicious and indulgent.
Every morning I wake up, I look into my cabinets. All I have is Magic Spoon cereal. I have all the options, and I'll do a little bit of I'll mix some cookies of cream with a little cinnamon, maybe cocoa and peanut butter. But oh man, that maple waffle just by itself is just something so spectacular. Hey, they're perfect not only for breakfast, but that guiltless midnight snack.
So go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use promo code SURVIVOR to save $5 off. And thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this podcast.